Hey everyone, this is Daniel with Screen Repair Business Academy at screenrepairbusinessacademy.com and thedanielbryan.com. Today I'm going to show you an iPhone 7 screen repair. It is an oldie but a goldie, and people are still getting it fixed. I want to show you that screen repair is easy. Businesses take processes. I can teach you both. Have a fantastic day. All right, this is the iPhone 7. Now, what happened to this phone when I originally got my hands on this phone, I've actually fixed this once before, was I discovered that surprisingly I was down a screen and I did not have a black screen. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you'll look in your stock and you think you have a screen, but you don't. Or sometimes what happens, especially back with these older phones, and really with any phone, sometimes you can try one screen and the screen not work, and then you switch to doing another screen. So with this one, I'm not sure if I didn't have the screen or if the screen that I put on originally didn't work. So what I did is I went to the customer. I said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't put your original color screen on. You can either no, what I was going to say, you can either bring it back and I'll put the black on there, or be okay with this, whichever you want to do." He chose to be okay with this. I think it actually looks pretty good. Notice I started by taking the bottom screws off. I used my Slim Jim tool to pop it open. This is an iPhone 7. So I'm going to pop it loose from up top here because it's got those plastic tabs up here. And then we're going to open it up sideways like this. I'm using my iPhone W repair phone holding tool like this. Now, the first thing we're going to do with every device when you open it up, you're always going to be going for the battery connection first. You always want to prioritize disconnecting the battery when you're doing something like taking a screen off. And that's exactly what we're doing today. I'm going to arrange all the screws in a grid like so to stay organized, because an organized screw board is a low stress board. This guy has an original battery in here. So what I should have done on the original conversation is I should have upsold them. Nevertheless, I'm disconnecting the battery, disconnecting the screen, so that we're reducing the risk of shock here. I'm going to look up here. These are Phillips head screws on some iPhone 7s. These are Phillips head screws in some iPhone 7s. They're tri-point screws. The two different kinds of screwdrivers you need to open up these iPhones. I'm going to pop that cover off, gently pull on this very slowly, and Bob's your uncle. We got some adhesive around the perimeter. We're going to pull loose. We'll work on getting the rest of the adhesive off later. We'll set that out of the field. Now we need to remove stuff from the screen. We're going to start off with the Touch ID sensor down low. By the way, I offered to this guy and I said, "Hey, we can put black on there if you like." And he didn't want. He wanted to stick with the white. Okay, so what did I charge for this phone? Here's an interesting fact. You can probably buy this phone for 50 or 60 bucks. If you wanted to buy an old iPhone 7, 50, 60, $70, that's a reasonable price to pay for one of these. And so one line of thought for repair would be that you simply charge less than the cost of the phone. Well, there's a problem with that, and I'll explain the problem in a second. But notice I took off the plating over the Touch ID sensor, and now I'm disconnecting the Touch ID sensor from the cable that comes down from here, and I'm going to very gently use this Slim Jim tool to lift it up. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to feed it through there, and it's gone. Now you have to be careful with a Touch ID sensor. If you damage that, you can't get it to work again. You won't be able to make it work as a fingerprint reader on this phone if you damage that. So you have to be careful. It is possible to get replacement home buttons, but the replacement home button won't work the same, won't read a fingerprint. Notice up here there's a screw right here that came loose. We're going to push that aside and going to remove these 1, 2. The nice thing on this phone is because it's already been repaired, everything's coming off a little bit easier. Okay, remove the screws around the camera and speaker. We take the metal plate off. You lift the camera back and there's a little speaker right here that comes out. We're going to remove that, and you got this apparatus right here. Now, since this has been removed before, I'm not too worried about it. If it was a brand new one and hadn't been removed before, I'd probably hit it with some alcohol. We'll see how it feels as I'm getting the tool. You're getting the tool under it just a little bit, wiggling it around, defeating adhesive. These are some delicate cables up here, but that one came loose again because it's been replaced before. And so now that we've taken this off and that off, we're done with this screen. I'm going to toss this. We're going to grab the new screen from Mobile Centrics. That is an adhesive template. Set that aside. The customer, like I said, wants white, so we're going to do what the customer wants. We're going to pop the plastic off. Plastic is off. That plastic is covering some sticky adhesive right here. We're going to line up the speaker sensors. There's 2 white plastic knobs right there you can use to line up the cabling for the speaker sensors. And then what you're going to do, use your finger and sensitivity to make sure you get the light sensors stuck in the right holes. Hard to make sure this focuses on me, I apologize. Okay, light sensors are in the right holes. So we're going to take this, move this over like so, and make sure you've got the speakers have these little springs on them, and the springs on them allow them to connect with the connectors that are going to connect it to the motherboard. You line everything up with the screw holes, fold the camera assembly over the speaker, put the bracket over everything, and we're going to start screwing everything in place. Okay, need to push through. There's a plastic cover on this. I'm going to pull the plastic cover back because we need to insert this. Insert this in here. Insert that. And we're inserting it through, folding it over, and plugging it into the cable right here. Sometimes you need to push this cable forward and back until you make that connection, but make sure it feels good and solid. Set this down right here, and we will get these screws in place. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I think that screw actually belongs down here. Okay, we've got the home button secured. Next, we're going to grab the bottom of the phone, throw away that, take a knife to clean the gutter out. The gutter is just a place where the adhesive sits. That is cleaned out. On an older phone like this, sometimes the gutter can get pretty dirty, so I like to hit it with some alcohol. This is a wipe with some Everclear alcohol on it. Yes, I like Everclear a lot. Never actually drank Everclear as an alcohol, but I hear it's great for cleaning things, and it is. Okay, we're going to replace the adhesive because the iPhone 7 comes with adhesive. A lot of low quality repair shops will skip out on doing an adhesive replacement on like an old phone like this. But if you are going to give quality service to your customers, make sure you always replace the adhesive if you remove the adhesive. And if you're taking the screen off an iPhone 7, you're removing the adhesive. Pushing it in place. Now sometimes what happened right there is the adhesive popped up when I tried to peel the blue plastic off of it. And all you have to do there is simply press down on it again as you're going all the way around. I'm gonna try that again. Oh, keeps popping up. That's pretty good. The difficulty about this super skinny gutters right here is it takes super skinny adhesive keeps wanting to pop up. That is good enough. It's kind of messy, but good enough. I also keep a ton of spare adhesive templates in, so if it really gets botched, I'm gonna do that. But what I also, so I put the adhesive around here. It's not as neat and tidy as I would like, but it's still gonna do the job of repelling majority of water issues. But no matter how much adhesive I put back on the device, I'm always going to talk to the customer as a rule and say, hey, this phone may have been water resistant when it was first manufactured because it was made in a clean room or whatnot, but it is not water resistant now. Or at least it's much less water resistant. So we got all these connections in place. So we're going to, at this point, try to power the phone on. And the best way to do that is to plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in and see if we got power, which we should. There we go. I'm going to let it come on while I work on replacing the plates. And I'm assuming it's going to come on, but you always want to check and make sure everything powers on, and you test your digitizer before sticking everything close, because it is it's a pain to have to redo that. And it is working, yay. So we got it working. I'm gonna unplug it down here, and we're simply going to get this closed. Remember on the iPhone 7, it has these notches right here. You need to sneak those under the edge of the phone up here, and pressing down, pushing up, and now that it's pushed up, I'm gonna start from the bottom of the phone. I'm gonna pop the screw holders here, make sure they're in, and then work your way up the phone, making sure it gets closed. We're going to put screws in. And that is an official screen repair on an iPhone 7. We're still doing them. I'm charging the customer $120 for this repair. It's a great deal.
And here's what I mean by great deal.
I don't mean that this phone is worth $120. It's not. This phone's only worth like $50 or $60. But it's a great deal because this customer doesn't have to buy another phone. This is his trusty device, and he's been using this phone for a while. If he upgraded to another phone, he'd spend way more than $120. So for me, this is basically, I'm fixing this for parts plus my set labor costs. I'm doing this repair in a way that works for me in terms of charging a rate that's worth my time. He's getting a valuable repair. Now, yes, he's paying probably twice what this phone's worth for this repair, and I sold him a screen protector. But these are the kinds of repairs you can do. They're fundamentally very simple repairs, and this phone is like a 7-year-old phone. Phone repair is easy. Building businesses takes systems, but you can learn both. Message me if I can help you today. Have a great day.